Joanne, can you tell us a wee bit about the event today?
Yeah, this is a celebratory event to mark the recognition of an incredibly important collection of the Singer Sewing Machine collection here in Clydebank. This is the 39th collection to be recognised in Scotland. The recognition scheme is very much a stamp of quality and recognises collections that have really made the grade to show just how important they are to Scotland as a nation, and many of them are actually very important internationally, which I think is the case with this collection. It's the second largest collection of Singer Sewing Machines in the world outside the Smithsonian, and the factory was so important for Clydebank. It employed nearly 16,000 people in its heyday, so we're very delighted that this collection has now been recognised in this way, and hope that this stamp of quality will attract more visitors to come and enjoy the collection and learn about the importance of Singer sewing machines both in Clydebank and around the world.
And so why was this particular collection chosen then in particular? What was it that attracted the attention?
It's the breadth and depth really of it, that it's a very large collection, and it has some of the earliest examples of sewing machines made in the UK. As I said earlier, it's the largest collection outside of the Smithsonian, and it's representative, I think, of over 100 years of that technology being developed. It has the last sewing machine that came out of the Singer Sewing Machine factory before it was closed, and it also has a very strong archive collection to go alongside it. So not only do you have the sewing machines, you have the archive of the social history. So the factory here had a very strong sort of social side to it, where they had dance halls and sort of a lot of strong sort of social input into the community. So we have a very good record of that and the history of the factory here and the community that worked in it. And it's incredibly important for the community. Many people still remember working in the factory. It closed in 1980, so it's a relatively recent addition to the museum world, really. So it has all the dimensions to it that do make it significant, I think, both nationally and internationally.
And so what's the ultimate aim then, now that it's been recognised? What's the hope that we'll move on from here?
I think it's seeing the collection being developed, being researched, more research into it, and developing more international networks so people understand the importance of the collection. So it can be making links, I think, with institutions like the Smithsonian, which is one of the institutions that recommended this collection for recognition. So Clydebank can start to reach out internationally and really be recognised for its place in the world and its contribution to technology, and the way that the sewing machine changed lives. It changed women's lives, but it changed the way people work, and it was an incredibly important addition to technology for the world. So, and Clydebank was an incredibly important contributor to that process. So that the collection, I think, will help to draw attention to Clydebank's role in the world, and also actively attract people to visit.
So this is a pretty big deal today. So how exciting is it that it's finally been recognised in this way?
It's great. It's been 30 years that we've had the collection in the museum at Clydebank, and it's absolutely fantastic that it's been recognised, it's been of national significance in Scotland, not just for the town, but for all the people of Clydebank that have worked in the factory for the 95 years that it was in the town.
Absolutely. And how important was it then? Can I ask you to sort of put it into perspective for the impact that it had on the town?
The impact that it had on the town was immense. It was a significant employer in the town. At its peak, it employed just under 16,000 people. It produced, again at its peak, over 1.3 million machines. 80% of those went overseas. So Clydebank made machines around all corners of the world. It was also a major employer for women, particularly in the early years of the factory, where their main employment was in domestic service, with the shipyards taking up the number of the male of the male workforce. It was an opportunity for women to break out of domestic service and enter into the manufacturing process.
It's been recognised. Where will it go from here?
Well, it's since the new museum and art gallery opened in January this year, we've for the first time been able to put a permanent exhibition on Singer on display. We've got 18 of the key machines from the history of Singer. Some of them are firsts, so we have an example of the very first model that the Singer company made. It was first produced in 1851, and our example takes to 1855. And it takes us right up to the very last machine that was manufactured at the Clydebank factory. It's a poignant reminder of the loss of industry in the area.